Mr. Bean and dinosaurs in hats. Stay tuned to find out more. Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Business Tech Weekly with D2NA. This week I'm on my own. I haven't got Tim with me, but I wanted to talk to you about something that we get asked about all the time, and something that I think is slightly unclear in the industry, and that is penetration testing. Now for us, there's two types of penetration tests. There's a penetration test itself, and there's a vulnerability scan. Now a penetration test is when a human being, an actual kind of a hacker, comes up to your website and gets given a scope, and they will actually pretend to be a hacker themselves, and they will log onto your website and try and get in there using the tools and techniques that a would-be hacker actually has. A vulnerability scan is a little bit more simplified and usually just done with a piece of software to show any vulnerabilities on your site. It's really, really important that if you've got a website that's got some quite important information, and even more important if you've got kind of a database or any kind of e-commerce facilities, that you get a full penetration test done on your site. People aren't just out there to go for credit card numbers and that kind of more sellable information. There is still quite a lot of people that just want to deface your website and just get in and just ruin your day, basically. Some examples are this one here, Vogue UK magazine. They were hacked, and their homepage actually was set to display pictures of dinosaurs wearing fancy hats. We've also seen the EU website themselves, and they actually managed to replace the Prime Minister with Mr. Bean, which is pretty good. Lenovo also got hacked themselves, and you wouldn't expect that from an IT company, and it just shows exactly how easy this is to have happen to you. And they literally had their website hacked with a slideshow of some bored teenagers. So in today's complex IT environments, it's really, really important that you know, and you've got that peace of mind, that your website is not vulnerable to any of these attacks. And it's also important to point out that new vulnerabilities come out all the time. So whilst your website may be pen tested on day 1, on day 6, you might find that a new vulnerability's been released. You might have a WordPress site with some plugins, and there's a vulnerability found in them plugins, and it actually then becomes exposed. So it's really, really important to have a pen test. And certainly for compliance reasons, things like PCI, they will actually specify the amount of time that you need to spend between penetration tests. And sometimes that's as often as quarterly. Things like the GDPR as well, really important. If you manage to have to get attacked and hacked, and you have actually got sensitive data, maybe you've got a login page and you've got users' information under the GDPR, if you get breached in any way, then you're going to have to tell the ICO about that breach, and that could end up with fines depending on the amount of data that's lost. And the other thing that's really important is you don't want to end up with your website being defaced. It's going to lose credibility amongst your peers, it's going to lose credibility amongst your customers, so it's really, really important to have that website tested and have those applications tested as often as you possibly can. I would say at least yearly. And it's really, really important that you get a company that actually has credibility in that field. Companies that are CREST registered. I know D2NA are a CREST partner. I'm not here to talk about what we can offer, but what I do want to say is when you're choosing a partner to work with for penetration testing, you need to pick someone that's a member of a professional body and their penetration testing to a certain standard. So please make sure that you get your websites tested, get your applications tested as often as you possibly can, and stay safe online. Thanks ever so much.